Hello again everyone, here we are again with the Challenger 2. As you can see from the shadows coming across the window, it's a fine and sunny evening down here in Dawlish. I imagine the tourists are coming down in droves, phalanxes perhaps, I don't know. Think of some other collective terms and write them in the comments. Last time I left you we looked at the this section here, section 25, where there's some components to put together. I did some of them and I've completed the rest off camera, and it is as I thought. You know, these things tend to fit where they touch, and they don't touch in many places. And what you clue up with is a structure that looks like this with the gun, but as you can probably see, the gun barrel is slightly, I'll shoot the people from round the corner type different, but I've managed to straighten it a bit using the same technique as I've used before, as you may have seen when I was creating inner detail for the TSR2 canopies. And this is to basically heat the plastic between thumb and finger and then just simply slightly bend it, applying a little bit of pressure. And you can do this with thin sections of polystyrene, works quite well. But these components, there's I think 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 components in that little section there. The back end here it's okay, it's not really straight in any meaningful sense, but if we take a look at it from arm's length, it looks all right, I would say. So we'll move on to the second section of this, which is step 26, where we're now putting in the gun barrel holders and so on. So we have to make some sub-assemblies here and also put together a component D19 with E56 and E50. So I'll just pull E56 and E50 off the sprue for a minute. Where have gone my cutters? There they are. E56 and E50. So let's go straight to it. Again, E50. Oh, see, this is another component that's absolutely minute. And once again, I forgot to put the microphone in, so let's do that now. Pause, that should now work, and the sound gets almost magically better, doesn't it? So there we go. Sorry about that. There should be a not putting the microphone in box, shouldn't there, that I put money in perhaps. E56, that was the other one. There you go, E56, that little component there. So we'll put them there, put that down there for a minute. Put the cutters there, get a 600 sanding stick and give the components a quick clean up. Perhaps do that on camera even, maybe, so you can see me being inept. Yeah, that seems okay there, like that. Let's have a quick look at this one. Yeah, there's a little sprue nib coming off the bottom there, but I don't want to file it too much because there's, I think, a little Johnson underneath it as well by the look of it. But that component sits into the D19 part. It seems to sit into a little tiny slot there. Let's have a quick look at that in some detail. So there's a little tiny slot just there, and this little piece here seems to fit into it, but it seems to fit in oddly. Okay, not oddly at all, like that. Let's do it on camera, shall we? Let's see if we can tweezer that into position, shall we? Maybe we can get this to all fit together without incident. Yeah, this is, oh no, that's going all over the ruddy place, isn't it? So that goes in there, it would seem. After that fashion. but it's at the very least going to be problematic to put in. I'm just going to move that to my magnifier for a second so that I can see what on earth's going on. So there's a little sprue nib still there that I need to take off, and that appears to be what's interfering with the best fit. So what we'll do then, I'll hold this in my tweezers here. Just have a look at that until I've removed that sprue nib. As I've said before, tanks have got an awful lot more detailed in the last few years, and I do remember putting some small components onto these things, but not quite as small as that, I must say. So that then, zero out just a tiny bit, because then at least we can see something. So I'm going to have to move this from the camera screen to the magnifier so that I can take advantage of its magnification and try not to affect my roomy old eyes. Yeah, that needs to be, that's not a good fit, so that needs to be really sanded down so that that little slot does fit in. Before I do that though, I'm just going to have a look, see where this is supposed to actually sit. So the D20 component sits together with that. They go in there like that. So this little component does have to overlap slightly to the edge, and there is an opposite sided component D20 that fits into that. So we'll look at where that goes in a minute. That seems to go on the outside of that. I think we'll put that on now, shall we? That seems like an idea to me, because at least it's on then and we don't have to worry about it anymore. So let's just do that. It's quick setting, so it is quite speedy. So that's one less component we've a chance of dropping. Yeah, the glue has wicked all the way around that in seconds, so that's okay. So I need component D20. Just reach round to my ditty box here. I didn't look at the instructions far enough ahead to do this. So we'll take that component off. Oh, there we go. Right. Let's keep D20 to, or the D sprue to hand, because we never know when we might need it. So what we do know from this is that this D20 component does have a little poker that sticks out there, so it would not be a good idea to take that off. And these two components fit together like that, and this little Johnson here sits in the middle like that. So it might be a better idea, or perhaps not. No, it's going to be, we're going to have to fit these together as per the instructions, as they say, according to Hoyle. So let's remove the sprue nib from this. Zero out a bit there for you, and then you can see what the hell is going on. As I've said, I'm going to refer back to the magnifier from time to time, just go on and off screen. You can see the magnifier in the corner here, so that I can make certain that I hit the marks here. Yeah, that's okay. So that's that bit done. So this is the D20 component, so I need E71 and then F62. So let's get E71 off. E71. Oh, there it is. These have sprue nibs on them as well, which appear to need to be taken off. So that actually goes that way around. So yeah, we know we don't need these components here. So all these little waste components, we'll call them. So file some more. Start making models, everyone. Learn how to file things and be patient with tiny bits. Oh, I filed the wrong bit there. So I need F62. It's an A component. So there are two F sprues. There are quite frequently repeated components. And F62 is just there. I don't quite know what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick look at it through the magnifier. And then cut the component off. Drop it away there. There we go. So another, some other E components, but F62 sticks to E71. So let's see what cleanup that needs. I seem to be coughing well today, for reasons that are not clear. Anyway, be that as it may. How's everybody out there in modelling land? I hope you're all okay. And that the sun is also shining on you. The sun's just gone behind the trees up there for a minute, so that'll be the reason why the light's got a little dimmer. Oh, curses! I'm going to have to try and find that. It's just down there somewhere on my computer table, so I'm going to have to move sprues and very carefully look for things, and that's a confounded nuisance. Oh, there it is. There we go. Put that back down there like that. Right. So let's have a quick look at this and see how that's supposed to fit together. So we'll orientate this according to the instructions. Is that going to stay there? Probably not. Let's orientate this according to the instructions. So it looks like that. And it appears to sit into a slot. Well, that might be the way it goes. I wonder if it is. That seems to fit onto D20, so let's go take another look at this again. So let's point that out like that. So that sits in there that way round. That is probably the way that goes, and it'll fit much easier in there. Yes, I think I can see what's going on here. So this little U-shaped component here fits and slightly overlaps onto this like that. This little component here fits into there when it's up that way. like that, so it faces backwards like that. So to some extent this bit here supports the joint against that there. So it's probably a good idea to put this on first and see to its, shall we say, correct fitting. There we go. So a bit of extra thin. And then we can get that straight maybe, eh? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Then we can plonk that in like that and get that in. Oh, curses. That wasn't supposed to happen, was it, eh? That was... Look at that. Right, let's try again. Stop clowning around here and start doing it properly. I think that's the right way around. Don't want to glue it in Australian style, do I, as it were? Upside down is what I mean by that. There, that seems to have fit in according to how it's supposed to look, so we'll put that down there a minute and then zero out. Again, we're 16 minutes in once again, and still no further towards completing this particular section, which is supposed to be fairly straightforward. E53. Let's find E53, shall we? Those are the F sprues. There's E, and E53 will be another minute piece just there. There we go. Let's drop that onto the... Take off that sprue nib there. That came from the bin back to where it wasn't supposed to be. Let's see how that fits in. The E53 seems to fit in there. Oh, just like that. Just like that. You know, one day, oh look at that, I knocked that out. I was just about to say one day I might be able to call myself a modeler, eh? I'm going to need to reactivate that joint because that's not in straight. It looks straight from arm's length, but it's not when you go up close. So let's get that into its little spot there. It's funny, really. I'm enjoying myself. Can you tell? Oh dear. See, I had that in, didn't I? And then it went. Right, let's just give that a chance to stay where we've put it, eh? Let's move that to the magnifier. There is a lot of glue on that, to be honest with you. And it's more than I want, but I'm gonna have to manage with it. It's not straight either, really. You can see that there, it's not really, oh no, maybe it's a bit straighter now. There we go. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll just give a little dab in there. And E53, so we've got E53, we've got E71, we've got F62. E51 is the other little minuscule component to put in here. 51, there's another tiny piece. tiny sprue nib to take off. Let's zero you out. It's really not helpful to be in that position for you. There we go. Cut that little sprue nib off there and see how and where that bit fits. And that little bit fits in there. So it sits in there like that. Oh, hell's teeth, that's not worked right, has it? Oh dear. Glue again. I've got to be careful that it doesn't wick through onto my fingers. Just go to the magnifier again. Oh, that's the wrong way round. That's why it won't go in. Aha, much better. Oh, that's superior. A superior fit when you get it right, eh? I'm assuming that fits in that pretty much straight up and down like that. My research doesn't stretch to that sort of detail. So there we go. So that's that bit done. Now with that done, these two components fit together and the machine gun fits between them. So we now need to give consideration to putting this piece in such a way that it fits well. So let's have a go at that, shall we? Just a dib of, oh, hello, that's not worked properly, is it? Little dib of quick setting there. Magnification required. I see that's not gone in properly. There we go. Oh, hell's teeth, where's that gone? Ugh. Okay, maybe I can do it this way and hold it half here. And poke that in there. And see, it wicks, it's just wicked underneath my thumbnail there. Just saw that happen. So that goes onto there like that. That goes onto there like that. And this whole cradle mechanism should then now, it's the next question. Do you think that should sit slightly to one side? Because it doesn't feel right to me that that is slightly to one side. But it looks like it ought to do that. That's as far as that fits, so I'm going to conclude that that is as it should be. There's going to need to be a bit of gap filling here, I would think. There's going to be some detail work to be done here for certain. Oh no, hang on, maybe not. Let's get a slightly larger pair of tweezers out in a minute. Can I use that to squeeze them shut? Yes, I probably can. Yes, so we'll just get that fully involuted with cement. And then let's return that to its correct position, which is not pushed up against the top there. There we go. So that little Johnson that we put in underneath there is more correctly sited, just flat in there like that. Yeah, there is a slight mismatch in the, yeah, the glue's beginning to wick in there, wick around, and so that's the next bit, and that's a 26-minute video, and we've done 2 steps in these two sections here, but we are now to that level. That's an awful lot of detail work there, but we got there in the end. So next time round we'll be doing step 27, which is all these other bits and pieces here, and then on to step 28 with, oh yeah, photo etch. Lots to look forward to there, folks. Thank you once again for tuning in. It's lovely to see you and hear from you, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care for now. Bye bye.